Hello, Journey Junkie community, and welcome to day 7, our final day together of the Chakra Challenge. Today we are focusing on the crown chakra, the final one. It is located at the crown of our head, and the Sanskrit word is sahasrara. So the element is space, the color is violet, and the Bija Mantra is Om. So this chakra encompasses things like cosmic consciousness, spirituality, transcendence, integration, wholeness, complete presence, non-attachment to what's not happening right now. Something to note that it might seem very difficult to reach this state of being. However, I like to think that it comes in waves. And if we are present enough, tapping into our 7th chakra, then we can become aware and recognize that we're in this state of wholeness, of oneness. So it comes in waves, in my opinion. For today's flow, we are focusing on a full body flow that integrates the whole self, wholeness, oneness, really piggybacking off that idea of integration and non-attachment. So my goal for you today and my challenge for you today is to become really present on the mat, to disengage and unattach from what's going on in your external world, and use this opportunity as a moment to be really present with your breath, with your body, with your mind, and your soul. So with that said, we will start in a kneeling position on our mats. All right, you're on your mat and we are starting in Virasana. So if you don't have sensitive knees, you have your knees together, you're sitting back over your heels. But if you're someone like me and you need a little extra support, you can bring a block between the heels and sit back on the block to find more comfort. Once you get there, start to root down through your sitting bones, connecting with your Muladhara chakra, and inviting the breath and the energy all the way up through the spinal column, through all 7 energetic spaces here to feel that unification, that wholeness and oneness. Also, unlike our other flows, we will start with the chanting and we will end in Shavasana, finally. So the Bija Mantra is Om. We'll start to chant it out loud together, allowing it to become quieter and quieter, bringing it into the mind, and then remaining quiet on our mats in a moment of meditation, allowing you to become really present and aware on the mat right now. So here we go. Find that channel of energy through the spinal column. Allow the shoulders to melt down. Take an inhale breath to prepare. Om. Om, 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 Om. A few more breaths here. And release the mantra. Take a few moments. Notice how you feel here in this present space. Notice the effects that have quickly integrated with just a few short moments of quiet and peace. And open the eyes. All right, if you're on a block, hinge forward, remove it. And we are coming into toe stand. If at any time toe stand becomes too much, you can come back into a kneeling position. But with our toe stand, we're moving through different arm variations and using the breath as we move. So before you get started, I like to unwrinkle my little pinky toes. And now here we go. On an inhale, clasp the hands behind the back, open the chest. Exhale, reclasp the hands and push it out towards the front of the mat. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, eagle arms, right hand under. We'll keep moving like that. Inhale, behind the back. Exhale, push it forward. Round here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, eagle arms left. Inhale, behind the back. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right arm underneath. Inhale, arms behind the back. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left arm underneath. 2 more times. Inhale, arms behind the back. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right arm underneath. Last round. Inhale, arms behind the back. Exhale, push arms forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left arm underneath. And release everything. Hands come in front of you. Release the toes. Whew, that was a lot. Pitter patter the feet out. Bring the blood back into that space. I know it's a lot. And then make your way into a forward fold, top of the mat. Allow the feet to be hip width distance and just ragdoll hang here. Let the head and neck go. Maybe open the mouth wide and close it, stretching the jaw. Sway from side to side. We have 5 breaths here. Begin to heel, toe the feet together, bend the knees generously, hug the belly up, head and neck hang, and roll like a zombie, stacking each vertebra. Shoulders, head, and neck come last, and we are into Tadasana, mountain pose. So I'm inviting all of us to move into 5 sun salutations on our own. This is your opportunity to own your practice and do what feels right. You can do modified, you can do low lunge, you can do a full chaturanga to up dog, you can take cobra or sphinx. But I want you to intuitively move through the flow, use your own judgment, tap into that state of wholeness and oneness, and also visualize your entire aura and essence radiating that color of violet, okay? So on your own, 5 sun salutations. When you get to downward facing dog, I recommend bending the knees for the first few and taking 2 to 3 breaths here. Keep breathing, keep moving, reminding yourself to move from a space of integrity, good intention, not rushing, not speeding, staying connected to the breath. So I'm entering into my last one. Feel free to start wrapping up, or if you're already done, maybe take one extra. This time we'll meet in downward facing dog and hold there. Five breaths here in downward facing dog. Make any movements you want. You can extend one leg and open the hip. Clasp the outside of the opposite ankle for a nice twist. All right, inhale that right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Send it back. Knee to right tricep. Take it back. Knee to left. Take it back. Knee to nose and hold. Gaze forward. Plant the foot. Open up, warrior two. Heel to arch alignment. Own the pose. Come into it immediately. Breathe deep here. Working into triangle pose, so inhale to straighten the front leg. Exhale to descend forward and down as your hips go back. Right hand comes to a block, shin, maybe the floor, left hand extends high. Option to take a half bind, bringing the left hand behind the back and wrapping it around the upper right thigh, opening the chest further towards the sky. 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, gaze down at your right foot, unwind the body, find runner's pose. So pivot to the front of the mat. You're on the ball of the left foot. You're reaching through the entire spinal column, the entire chakra system. Take a few moments here and bend the back leg just to a hover. Lift back up and bend and hover. A few more times, bend and hover and bend and hover. Last one. All right, from here we're coming into standing splits. So gaze forward, hinge forward, straighten the right leg, hands come down, chest melts down. So in standing splits, you can play with keeping the hip open, you can roll it down and square the hips, you can practice bringing the right hand behind the calf and maybe balancing with both hands wrapped there. Lastly, you can play with handstand hops. So we have about 5 breaths and then we'll all meet in a vinyasa. So start to make your way into a vinyasa. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Alrighty, inhale that left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale it high. Knee to left tricep. Inhale it high. Knee to right tricep. Inhale it high. Knee to nose and hold. Gaze forward. Plant the foot. Pivot the back foot down. Rise up, warrior two. So come into it, own it, immediately embody that warrior. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale to hinge forward. Find Trikonasana Pose. Bring your hand to wherever's comfortable. Right hand reaches. Maybe you wrap it around and find that bind. 3 breaths. Exhale to gaze down at your left foot. Come into a runner's lunge, top of the mat. Energy from that back heel all the way to the crown of the head, and then begin to bend and straighten and bend and straighten and bend and straighten. One more time, bend and straighten, and then transition into standing splits. A few more breaths, option to play with those handstand hops, and then move into your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Once you get to downward facing dog, 3 deep breaths. Okay, so we're working into Halasana Yogi Squat. You can simply step your way there, or if you want to work on frog hops, fire hops, essentially you walk your dog in halfway, you bend the knees deeply, you gaze forward, core is active, and you hop. And eventually you land your feet outside your hands. So a few breaths, practice that. And eventually, let's all meet in Halasana Yogi Squat. If this is too much on your knees, you can always bring a block underneath your bum. Otherwise, hands, elbows inside, legs, lift that chest. See if you can find that integration line from root chakra all the way to the crown. Envisioning that rainbow bridge of all 7 colors uniting and becoming one. Alrighty, from here, planting the hands, working into crow pose. So if you have Gomukhasana, go for it. If it's newer to you, hands come down. Notice how your knees are nicely positioned outside your triceps. What happens here is we hinge forward onto the balls of the feet. We round the back and slowly gazing forward, making sure to gaze forward, we hinge, 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 hinge. Maybe you pick a foot up, maybe you pick the other foot up, and you come back down. A couple breaths to play, everyone. If you're more advanced, try taking Gomukhasana to Shavasana, headstand, come back down again and find crow once again. So everyone moving through their journey of crow pose today. If you're in crow pose, you can play a little bit longer. If you're in headstand, you're pushing back up. This is where a lot of the effort comes into play. Shifting the drishti. Boom. Sometimes I never know if that's going to work out. Let's all meet back in Yogi Squat. Take a breath. Saying to yourself, I am whole. And I am home. Okay, hands plant, step back, plank pose. We'll lower for 5 into Sphinx, so take a big inhale. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to slide the hands forward, finding your Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders, legs are nice and long behind you. Push the forearms into the earth, lift it away. And slowly lower, push back up into plank, meet me in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're coming onto our back, so you can practice hopping through or simply melt the knees down and slide the legs around. All right, setting up for 𝗪𝗏𝗶 bridge pose. Heels in towards the glutes. They don't need to be on top of the bum, but just towards the bum. Hip width distance, hands down by your side. And on an inhale, let's lift up 50% of the way. So making the work stay in our lower body, the glutes and the hammies. So here we go. Push into the heels, lift up halfway. Just hang here. See if you can transition the strength and the activity to the bottom half. I know for me it takes a while to get the feeling, the sensation to come into my glutes and my hamstrings. A couple more breaths. And slowly lower. On the next inhale, come all the way up into your full bridge. Inhale, lift up. Maybe you clasp the hands underneath as you roll the shoulders and finding a deeper opening through the hips and the chest here. 3 deep breaths. Keeping the knees coming towards one another, activating those inner thighs, lifting the hips. And slowly release the pose. Okay, so option to do another bridge or option to come into wheel pose, all right? If you know wheel, this is your opportunity. You can bring the hands by the shoulders. Bridge pose, people, set up exactly how you just did. Everyone, on an inhale, work into your variation of a back bend. And slowly come down. Bring the feet as wide as the yoga mat and let the knees knock towards one another now. Palms rest down by your sides. A few breaths. This is the counter posture. Okay, setting up for shoulder stand. So if you don't know shoulder stand, what I suggest is just coming into waterfall, which is lifting your legs up. Hands rest down by your sides. And this is it. This is an inversion, okay? Otherwise, if you're coming into shoulder stand, elbows by your sides, they're really rooting into the earth here. You definitely need core strength to do this. On an inhale, we lift our hips high and we catch the back with our hands. So everyone make your way there. Keeping your eyes on your toes, active legs, soft forehead, soft jaw. We're here for 10. Option to stay or start to come into Halasana Plow pose, bringing the toes behind the head, moving very slowly. Option to bend both knees, bringing them to the outsides of the ears for Karni Pindasana.
And slowly bring hands back to your back. Come out of plow pose. Take your time. See if you can stamp each vertebra onto the ground as you descend down. All right, coming into Supta Gomukhasana, crossing right knee over left. Heels come towards the face. Lift the chest and grab the outside of the ankle here. You might need to grab the outside of the shin. You might be able to grab the outside of the feet. So find what's comfortable for you and then rest the shoulders and the head back down onto the earth. Take 5 more breaths here. Knowing that force is not necessary, allow yourself to relax into this hip opener. And release. Switch sides, left knee on top. Inhale to lift the chest, clasp the outsides of the ankles or the feet or the shins, and then soften the shoulders and the head back down. 5 breaths here. And exhale to release. Find happy baby pose. Few breaths here to seal our practice. And relax the feet towards the midline. Soles of the feet come together. Option to take Shavasana and Supta Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks, it's really nice to bring blocks on either side underneath the knees. For a restorative version, if it's comfortable without blocks, go for it. If you'd rather take a traditional Shavasana, go for that. But find your resting posture to seal our practice. Palms can rest down by your sides. Big inhale breath. Exhale, let it go. One more. And allow yourself to completely surrender, reminding yourself that you are whole, that you are one, and that you are connected through the entire chakra system. So take rest, Shavasana. next inhale, allow it to become bigger, more expansive, sending the rib cage out wide and the belly lifting towards the sky. Circulating your breath, your life force throughout the entire body, and inviting it from the root chakra up through the system to your crown chakra and beyond. And from there, those small movements start to arrive, fingertips and toes, ankles and wrists. We then extend the body long, creating wholeness once again. Exhale to bend the knees, come onto your favorite side for fetal pose. And as you rest here, reminding yourself, I am whole. I am home. Repeating that to yourself. And on the next breath, push into the earth, lift up. Meet me in a seated posture. Keep the eyes closed, Sukhasana, rooting down through the sitting bones, the crown chakra, rising up through the entire system. Feeling alive, energetic, connected. Inhale to sweep the arms out to the side, gather up the energy we've created throughout all 7 days, palms touch. Exhale the hands down through heart center. We will close with the universal vibration of Om and the Bija Mantra for the sahasrara chakra. Big inhale. Bring thumbs to forehead, gently bow. The light in me deeply honors and respects the light in you, the light that you brought to the mat and to our community. Namaste. Open your eyes. Whew, wow, 7 days of doing really connected, intuitive work with a really incredible intention. So thank yourself for showing up on the mat. Thank you for showing up with me. And thank you for adding to the collective energy of our entire community who've moved through this 7-day chakra challenge. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you can join the challenge by clicking the link in the description below. Again, thank you so much for inviting me into your home. I will meet you back here next week for another flow. See you then.